You ready?
Mhm.
Yo, what time is it?
Right now, live on Right Now Radio.
Yo, we live on Right Now Radio. Got Miss Kioka Tate in the building. Kioka Tuck, I'm sorry.
You
Kioka
good?
Tuck. We have Miss T's book room. She's a book
Yes.
author, educator. She's from that mighty TU, Tuskegee University. Y'all, you know where I'm from. Hey, yes. Hey, yes. Hey, yes. Woo! Woo! Yeah, too. Wow. Well, as I get to see now, you start out, one of major in occupational and physical therapy. So, like,
Yes.
just tell me, like, how did your love for the kids get sparked? To want to teach them.
So, I was helping a young lady out from my community, and she actually was having trouble in reading. And I was doing my occupational therapy major, and it was during the summer. I was back home, and I said, well, I guess I'll make a little money, on the side and do that. And so as I was doing it, I was planning things for her to do every day. I was like, I think I like this a little bit more,
Yeah.
because I mean, occupational therapy and physical therapy, you're trying to learn about muscles and you're learning about the body. And I mean, I liked it, but it just wasn't, the passion wasn't there,
Yeah, I understand.
So when I was working with her, I was like, I like this. I really like this. So that grew like a whole love for teaching. And so really the thing was I was able to be creative, So
yeah, see, you know what? That's one of the main things I love about teaching too. Cause like when I first started teaching, I got about some of the STEM camps right at ASU over the summer, right? I went from there being a teacher adjunct at Trinum. But like you said, just taking the work home every night, planning activities, following up with students. I found myself doing that more than I was doing my full-time work.
Right. Yeah.
And I like this,
I like this. I enjoy
and
this.
I decided to just go ahead and pursue it.
Right.
hmm So, now I see you got your office set up. When did you write your first children's story? And also, what was the name of it?
So my first story is back there. That's Dream Baby.
Dream Baby.
Yes, Dream Baby.
I don't see it.
And this is Dream Sweet Baby, but his name, I call him Dream Baby. And people say, what's his name? I don't have it. Look,
Baby.
He called Dream Baby, okay?
Dream Baby.
But I wrote this in 2019, and it's actually when I was teaching my pre-K students. And so with pre-K, they take a nap. And you play that. I know. I was like, y'all, look, they didn't want to go to sleep. I was like, okay, when y'all get older, y'all gonna wish y'all took a nap time.
I did, though. I know I did in preschool. I took mine every day.
Right.
That made me go to sleep.
You took a nap, And so, how you play that music to get them calm and lay them down. So I would listen to that music. I mean, I'm trying to do work while they laying down, but I would think of like this little cute poem to go with it. So later on, I started to kind of like read it to them and not really saying who's it. I didn't tell them it was by Miss Kioka, Miss Tuck. I didn't say that. I just would read it to them, and then they just started they liked it. They thought it was cute. So I was like, you know what? I need to make this a book. I need to make this a thing. So that's how this idea came up. And everything you see is something from my imagination. Because when I was younger, I loved to use my imagination. So it was basically that. And I did a little black boy because sometimes, people kind of see that, oh, black children, they don't really have can't have an imagination, and especially little black boys. I was like, I want them to have fun too. I want books about them having fun, having a good time. So that's the reason why I have that. And his little plush alligator, he's a little sidekick and he helps him. So
you're right. I'm really glad, that us young black men, young black boys are represented in a much more positive fashion, not just troubled kids or at risk and out the ghetto. I mean, I really don't like that narrative. I just don't, because not everybody's like that. Matter of fact, I wouldn't even like that. I didn't even grow up like that.
Exactly.
So, I wanted to say too, like, where else did your imagination take you? It take you anywhere, out of space,
Yeah.
anywhere.
So it like it took me with this book, it kind of took me where I kind of thought about my pre-K kids and what their mind goes. Like
Wow.
they would talk about, pretend like they were a bee or pretend like they were dogs and cats. I don't know what it is about little children and want to pretend like they are a dog or
I know,
that.
right?
Love to pretend stuff like that, or they like to pretend they're in the sky and they're walking on the clouds and stuff like that. So that's where I was like, okay, well, let me do it off of them. And a lot of people who tell me that their kids, when they read it to them, oh, they love it. I'm like, they really do, because sometimes I'm surprised by my own self. Like, they really like it. They were like, yeah, they love me to read that. And I think it's because it kind of takes them away. It takes them away from the norm. It takes them to a new place, So I was like, I said, okay. So I guess the kids, they want to kind of get away. And a lot of people say, well, they like the colors and stuff like that. So I kind of like, that was my imagination kind of taking me like towards where they kind of get away and do their own thing. And, they're not bothered and they can just, like I said, be a kid,
Now, see, my imagination made me want to be a Ninja Turtle or a Power Ranger.
See,
That's that
like,
time.
right.
So that's something I wanted to do.
Yeah, like you wanna be something else, and that's
Mm-hmm.
that's good. There's nothing wrong with that. So sometimes I think we need to kind of embrace that. We don't really embrace the imagination.
So, speaking of that, how
Mm-hmm.
would an adult embrace their imagination to spark some of their creativity? Because I can see you done so.
An adult.
Yeah. Because, of course, I don't think an adult would want to be a Ninja Turtle or a Snapping Turtle either.
Right.
I think, they want to just go to a quiet place. They just get a break away from their reality just for a little while. They might be busy
Right.
with maintaining the household, the kids, the work. They want, so like, I guess, like, how would an
See,
adult use that? I guess one of
as
their
an
hobbies.
adult, like as an adult, as you can see behind me, I have books.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
feel like as an adult, when they read books, for me, I get an idea. I'll be like, you know what? I could do this and this, and they did this, or they went to this place, or I'm not a big person that's into fantasy books, but sometimes I'm like, I'm so jealous of people who write fantasy. Like, even though I'm not really into it, they can take you to a world, and you're like, what made them even think of something like that? And
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes it's like if you get into a space and you're writing and you're just reading different things. I think that's another way that an adult can just bring out their imagination. So I think it's just from seeing, or art,
Yeah.
seeing, things that kind
Yeah.
of bring that.
That's another way I used to do art. Like, I still like to draw and paint myself. That's
Right.
something I still do. I got about 2 or 3 pieces in my house that I did, just
Right. It
freelancing.
keeps
Yeah.
you calm. Like that does. It
Hmm.
keep it. Yeah, you got to find things because when you go to work and you've had a hard day. Sometimes you come in, you like, I gotta have something to just kind of
Yeah.
relax my mind. Yeah,
Hmm.
something.
You need something
So
to kind of just get away from it for a minute.
right,
Not
right.
think about your next bill, next meal. That next
Yeah,
promotion you working on. Nothing. You want to just be free.
right. Exactly. It's you just got to get your mind. You got to rest your mind a little bit. Let's relax. So I've had to
Yeah.
learn how to do that because don't bring the home.
Uh,
Try not to bring that work
oh
home,
man,
but you
yes
do.
indeed.
But
That's a real life. Everything stops at the door for me. I leave outside.
yeah,
I don't pick it up till I leave back out in the morning. I don't pick it up till
exactly. Yeah,
I
you
leave
just
out in
have
the
to do
morning. But I was gonna say, what
that.
kind of
Right,
books?
right.
What kind of books can we find in Miss T's book room anyway?
So my favorite is nonfiction, of course. Nonfiction, memoirs. It's just something about reading somebody's story, learning
Hmm.
about them. I
Yes.
really enjoy that. Like I said, yeah, memoirs, autobiographies. That's my thing. But I also like, and this is the thing about me, I'll read just about anything, I don't have a, oh, you're not gonna read this because it's this and this. No. But my personal favorite is nonfiction memoirs. And I like to learn about, like I've gotten to a point where I like to learn about different cultures and history, things that we did not learn in school, like
exactly.
I like to start listening to that. But I also like mystery, and I get into some self-help, sometimes it can be a little, but I'm enjoying that. And some fiction, I'll do a little historical fiction every now and then. Some of it can be it takes you a while to get through it, but because you get kind of upset. But
you do, because especially like with African American history, you find out, the way that we were really treated back then. It's like ain't no way.
Ain't no way. Sometimes you just have to kind of take a break, like it
get deep.
Women, and they talk about some stuff they read, and I'm like,
you realize a lot of that happened. You realize a lot of those things happen right here in Montgomery, downtown Montgomery, where we got to hang out at.
Right.
I mean, our people got tortured down there on Commerce Street.
Yeah, I mean, like Montgomery, Selma. Just think about, like, you read about it. I mean, it's the fact that people they were there, but when you read about it and you're like, oh no, I couldn't do this.
Even like in the early days of Tuskegee University, man, like they went through it up there.
Yeah.
Because they did not want our people to get educated. Now when our people read books. And now, you got to force people to read. I think that's the craziest thing in the world.
Yeah, you got to. You're right. You got to force. You got to
force them to read. Like they, like they want to be uneducated now.
Yeah, it's like I'm like, you got to get out there. And I have to tell these, like I said when I was, talking about, the high schoolers who say, I don't read, I don't like reading, and you thinking, man, it's people.
Man, do you know that people who marched, they actually walked from Selma to Montgomery, and look, they walked. I didn't say that they drove. They walked, marched to the Capitol for us to have these rights.
Yeah,
and y'all see have these rights. On the use
it. And people were, during slavery were, killed for trying to pick up a book, just to pick it up. Just to
work. You know what? Not where they killed, they picked it up deliberately again and again to show them that, look, I'm gonna read this book.
I'm gonna read this.
I'm gonna read this book. That's what they said.
Right.
And now today, they answer what the descendants. I'm sorry, descendants. They decided that we not gonna read no book.
Right.
I will go to college.
You like, yeah.
Crazy? Are you crazy?
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Yeah. And then, so I think the biggest thing, I go talk to other fellow passionate educators, because we share a unique passion for bridging the next generation.
Right.
We want to pass on not only our knowledge to the next generation and our experiences, but we want to show them that they too can discover their creativity, the talents, and go on to create another Miss T's book room. They can create Rite Now Radio. They create their own,
right?
Their own brand, their own service, whatever they choose to do, and make it great.
Exactly.
Because Dr. King had a dream. Guess what he did? First thing he did with that dream, he started. He started. He put that dream to action. Now, was he ever nervous? Huh? What say?
I said he put it. I said he put it to action, like you said. He put it.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he was nervous and afraid at times. You got to think about the time period he lived in. That was a very intense time in history. So I mean, he was nervous, but guess what he did? I mean, I think he took out, Jeremiah 29:11. He was bold and courageous.
Yeah,
he said, "I'm doing this."
I mean,
that's how you have to be.
And it's like. And I mean, like, sometimes when I read these like books, about Martin, because I have a million children's books about Martin Luther King, and sometimes I'm like, he not only had that dream, he had to, he was like, well, we're gonna be nonviolent. You like, wait?
They're nonviolent,
and we're gonna be nonviolent. And
he was nonviolent. He was nonviolent. People who were definitely trying to kill him.
Yeah.
They think about how strong that is. They made it known that they wanted to kill him. He said, "We non-violent. We not gonna fight."
Right. We're not gonna fight. We're not gonna hit
Get
that.
what?
We're not gonna. I mean, he
Mm-hmm.
made that next one like, nope, we're
Yeah,
not gonna do that.
yeah.
We're not gonna do
Now,
that.
you know what? You got people like Marcus Garvey and Hewitt Newton that said we're gonna be violent. But the
Right.
Black
We're gonna be
Panther Party, they said forget that. We gonna beat them up.
We're gonna right. We're
We
gonna be
gonna,
violent.
they when they see us coming, they better move, and they did.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And they did,
We gonna be violent though.
and they
You
did,
might take your way. We're gonna be
and they
violent.
did. They did. Don't do one playing no game.
Right.
Man. So wow. So you been teaching? How long you been teaching anyway? How many
Oh,
years?
I actually, I'm coming on my 11th year. Yeah, 10th. I
Wow.
made 10 years last year, and then I'm coming from my
I saw
11th
you
year.
having
I know.
fun. So you had to
Woo! I'd
think
be
how
like,
long it's been. You
I
gonna
was
you gonna
like,
teach,
yeah, like man.
you gonna teach for the next 40 years, ain't you?
Look, I'm gonna have to be a professor. I'm gonna have to go to.
That's what I all say. That's what all y'all say.
I'm gonna have to go up to
No,
because like with all these books that I'm reading and all this stuff that I'm learning, I said, I think I'm gonna just try to be this professor. I love kids and I
yeah.
love it, but I really want to take it to another level,
And it's worth it because
yeah,
when I was teaching high school, I didn't think I was ready to become a full-time instructor at the college either. But when I did it, it was
right.
probably the most fun thing I ever done.
That's good.
Seriously,
Yeah.
it was. And see, like I said, it's funny when I ask this question. Most elementary teachers always say, "I got one more year. I got one more year." They said it every year too. They said it every year. I got one more year. Like,
Well, yeah. Yes.
okay. Now 10 years are gone by. You still saying that?
Well, look, let me tell you though, I didn't really get that one more year until after probably pre-K, and I started teaching third and fourth. I'm gonna be honest
They
with you.
always say that. I got one more year. One more year.
I got one more
Then,
year,
then,
and
then
people
they
be
got
looking
20
at me like,
years.
serious?
Then they got 20. They got 20 years in
Then
education.
I got 20. Then I got 20. But
Yeah.
yeah, we say that though. You're right about that because we will say,
Yeah,
my they be like,
what I noticed, I know when some of y'all had to be away from those kids, I can
yeah,
see the withdrawals. I can just see like,
mhm.
you can't believe you had to stay home
Yeah.
today. You didn't want to stay
I
home. You
mean,
had to.
let me
You
tell
didn't want to
you,
stay home. You just had to.
my students, I know some of them are going. The fourth graders are going to the fifth grade, and they'll go to another school. And I know, I mean, they drive me crazy. Them fourth graders drive me crazy, but I know. And during the summer, I'm gonna be sitting and be like, man, I'm sure gonna
You
I'm
gonna
gonna have to
miss
go
it.
see it home or yeah, I'm gonna call that new teacher and I'm like, hey, let me talk to so and so or how's so and so doing? I'll do it now. Like I do it now. So I know I'm gonna be a little, I'm gonna get a little emotional because at my school they stay with me for third and fourth grade. So I know I'm gonna be like, man.
Do you go to that graduation like from middle school or high school?
I have been to some. The first class I had that was in pre-K. Damn, it's gonna be a while before they graduate from high school. So that's getting me a little, a little nervous. But yeah, it's starting to get there, and I don't,
Now you know what.
I don't know how to feel.
Let me tell you now. When you go, that's gonna be the best thing ever. Cause I went to a couple of my kids' graduation, and man, it's like saying your own child graduate.
Yeah,
It really that's really how you feel.
And like I see some of them around the community, and like they're taller than me. I mean, it
Yeah.
don't take much, but they're
Right.
taller than
Same
me, and they're saying, "Hey, Miss Tuck, I remember blah blah blah," and you're like, "I told you, and you're doing you're doing well, like you're doing well,
Yeah.
And they remember you, and they remember things that you taught them, and so
what? They probably remember the days when you probably were at your peak, right? You probably had a lot going on, people on your nerves, too much to do. But that'll be the day to say, I appreciate everything you did. You'd be like,
right. You're like,
man,
what?
Thank
You mean
you.
the days I was telling you, you know what, you better not do that again. I'm gonna call your mama.
Yeah,
Like,
it probably time when I was really like getting on to a student. They said, I
yeah,
appreciate that. I'm like, oh, okay. Wow.
right.
Yeah,
So
that's reward in it though. A lot of people don't see that. They just see you teaching. And like in my field, I work in IT. So it's a very high paying field. They like, why you want to teach when you go make more money? I said,
yeah,
well, at that point in time, it was just in me to go, go ahead and teach these kids. It was just in my heart to do it. And I
right,
did,
right.
you know. So, and I felt like too, like I was gonna get to the money anyway, but I said at this point in time,
Yeah,
it's
I
something I
mean,
need to go do.
yeah, you will. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, you'll get to it, so
yeah. I'm gonna
um,
get to it,
right.
man. So I see how long you've been teaching and everything. I guess like what's the future of Miss T's book room? Like I guess like what are you adding next? You gonna add some artwork? Or we're gonna add some more
So,
poetry? What we gonna add?
so I started with the children's book. Miss T's book room was more of a, to get the big thing about kids reading. Hey, I want you to love reading, and I want you to find books that have diverse characters. I want you to, read books with characters that look like, you. That was the whole like premise of Miss T's book room, was to get, you know, books in classrooms and libraries and community centers with diverse characters. That was my whole thing. And in the school. Because when I was at AUM, I saw that a lot of children's books that they would tell us, hey, I took a children's literature class, and a lot of the books didn't. I was like, okay, so where the black kids, where the children who are Asian, and where is that? So I started looking. I started
Yeah,
researching. I was
yeah.
like, yeah, we got to
You know
put that in
what?
school.
You know what? I'm glad you brought that up because nothing wrong with other coaches' books being there, but
Right,
I just feel like they push African American books all the way to the back. And not only that, they push to the back. It's only like one or two books on the shelf. I'm like,
right.
now I know that there are more stories out
Mm-hmm.
there. I know there are
It's
lot more
okay.
black authors
A lot
out there
more.
too. I know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
Yeah.
so I asked, where they
Where they at? Like where are they?
at? I
I don't
said,
see
where
them.
they at? That's what I
And
asked them. Where
so
they at?
that's what sparked Miss T's book room, because at first I was gonna do like an informational thing, but it is still information. And then when I really got into teaching, I saw that, it wasn't the fact that, kids, they just didn't like to read, or they weren't able to read, and if you're not able to read,
So
you're
you
not
saying that
going.
the kids didn't I guess they read skill wasn't sharp enough? What do you mean?
So like basically when I had saw, I was trying to promote the books and stuff. Some kids, but I don't like reading, but it was because it was hard for them to read. It was like they didn't have a good background in learning how to read.
Mm.
So that sparked another thing. That sparked more of a, hey, okay, well, what can I do to help parents, or a parent, guardian, another teacher, or the daycare teacher. What can I do to help them, give them a good start, especially like pre-K. I learned about the good start, a good start, and working in Head Start. You get that basic foundation. I saw a lot of that. So when a child is, when they start to get, and I mean, as a teacher, you see when they learn something, oh, I got this. Let me go do this. Now I want to do this, or I want to do that. So that was, that sparked something else of, Miss T is more of an information thing. Let's get some stuff out there to help them with the basics. So
So I
that's,
mean,
like I said, that's
you know what? I've seen it when I taught high school. I had kids who would not read on the high school level,
right.
and I just felt that was a huge problem. And
Mm-hmm.
I can't help but wonder, like, how are the previous teachers not catching this? How are they not catching it? Why are they not trying to improve those skills? And they just
And it's
moving along.
right. They move them on. They move them
They
on, and
move
we
them
see
on.
that. We
Yeah,
see that they're moved
I
on.
can't but wonder that. Like, why
Yeah.
nobody put them in any type of programs, enrichment,
Yeah.
and gave them that extra help that they needed
And
because
that what we need, is that extra help, that extra boost, and some people are really.
Why nobody gave me that?
I said they're ashamed, if I can't read, I'm not gonna be happy. I'm gonna act out. So then I see a lot of behaviors. I see a lot of behaviors.
Yeah, that's cause of a lot of behavior issues too. Now, not to make any excuses, but a lot of that's from lack of love and lack of reading skills, getting the proper homework help they need. That's not how kids ask for help. They act out.
Exactly.
A lot of kids ask for it, and then like you say, some of them don't get the help at home either. That's out of most of them control, but like they don't get the structure at home. A lot of kids I had didn't.
Right.
It didn't. I mean, they were on their own at home. School was their only piece.
Yeah, it's only piece. And I used to be like, walking in the school, you have to put on that smile face. But some kids, they come to school to see your smile. They do. They come to school. I know I can't get it at home, but I know Miss Tuck is gonna be real happy if I can read this for her. If I can do this for her. And I had to learn that too as an educator. I was like, I don't, I have to be the one that's going, because I might be the only person that encouraged them today, or this week.
Most of the time you are.
Yeah.
Just have somebody who's gonna high five them and talk to them. Like they don't get that. Right. See, another thing too. School I taught at too. It was a bit militant, right? They kind of harp down on discipline a little too much. Right. Yeah, it had to be a balance.
Yeah.
Right? So, because this is not army basic training. This is a high school. That's what I was trying to let them know. Like, listen, you can't just keep you ain't gonna be there. You better not do that, or you gonna fail. Like, wait a minute now. Now, there are consequences to decisions we made, but listen, now you need to teach them a little bit better. You gotta show some love.
Yeah, you do. You have to
show some love. You gotta show.
I like the balance. The balance.
Yeah, you gotta show them some love too. Now they weren't showing a lot of love. They couldn't even talk in the lunchroom. I'm like, okay, man, I couldn't wait to go to lunch when I was in school. I couldn't wait to go. I knew I about to be at the table laughing, joking, talking about everything. So
that's your social time. Look, that's your social time.
And then on top of that, I get to show off my outfit. That's why I want to go to the lunchroom too.
Exactly, like kids
show my outfit.
They're so into
that. Show my shoes off, yeah. Well, they
show your shoes off.
Yeah, they had to walk, just like this, straight ahead, about face. I'm like, man, that's tough, man. That's tough for a 15-year-old kid to do, day in and day out.
And it is. That's tough. So like, yeah, you just kind of have to, find that balance.
Yeah, tell you, man. So it seems like you really got that down pat. I can see your kids really, really, really love you.
Yeah, they say they do, and then they cut up. I was like, y'all said y'all love me, y'all.
Y'all. That's how they pay you. That's how they pay you. That's funny.
Yeah, I was like, did y'all love me? We do, Miss. Okay, all right. It is not. Y'all doing a little different now.
That's crazy. Wow. So I guess like, do you do any any events in the community for the kids?
Now, when I first started, I did an art show because I wanted to do like a thing for some students who wanted to be creative, and I loved it. So I'm gonna have to get that art show back up, and I've done some books. I'm gonna have to do some, I'm gonna have to do some more. But when you're in school, when you teach,
make sure you invite me when you do.
Yeah. So I got to do more. And I'm in Montgomery, a good bit, but not as much. But I really need to get on something, and I also like to do partnerships, like especially like with the rec centers and libraries. Like I love doing that. Like partnerships are very important, in the community. So I love stuff like that.
Well, I was gonna tell you too. Now since we on summer break now, you got summer to go ahead and put that show together.
But I'm trying to plan a trip. Look, trip here. But look, you're right.
How many trips she got, Kioka? How many trips she got planned? Like 5?
I'm trying. Look, I gotta get a trip in. I gotta get at least 2 in there. They relax.
I ain't mad at that.
Yeah.
I ain't mad. You
Shopping trip. Look, a
look
bookstore.
now. I mean, look now. Like you put in how many months y'all in school now? 9 months, right? In school for 9 months.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah, you need to. You need those trips.
I need to get that, I get that trip in. But I do have some things. Some people are asking me to come, and I'm getting into the, speaking thing, because I'm a more of I don't really like to get out there. So I am, I have been asked to do some things. So I'm really excited about that. Even though, like I say, I'm usually in the background. I'm usually I'm
you gotta go step in the front. Step on in the front. Step in the front. Step on in the front.
My friends would tell me, you have so many good ideas. Yeah, but
dude, you got too many, and you gotta put them out there.
Now only am I doing children's books, I've gotten more into adult books. So I gotta step out, and people are asking me for recommendations, and they're asking, hey, what's a good book for to talk about, learn about our history. That's like, you tell me a good book, so I gotta get out there. So yeah, you're right. I gotta really
put it out there. I mean, like, you keep it to yourself. What do you think will happen to all those ideas? They'll stay right inside and never
right inside it.
Think about how many more lives you gonna change.
And you're right, and like I said, so many people say, you have these books that I've never heard of that book. I didn't know, So when I post, I do get that. So it might not be a million people saying, hey, I love this book. The power of one. So if one person says, hey, I love that recommendation you gave me, and I want another one. So I've been getting a lot of that lately. So I gotta I gotta step out of there.
Look at you now. That's no reason to do it. Hey, you know what? Let me start the meeting right back up real quick. Hold on. Okay. You the same link to come back in.
You said when I sign out?
I said, yeah, you can use the same link to come back in too.
Okay.